Looking for a Christian movie that's actually worth your time? There are many, and we've got you covered. Today, we're counting down the top 9 faith-filled films, from inspiring true stories to powerful journeys of redemption. And make sure you stick around because our number 1 pick is one you absolutely can't miss. Let's jump in. Number 9. Between Borders. Imagine fleeing your home because of who you are, only to land in a country where you're just as unwanted. Sounds like a cruel joke, right? For Violetta Petrosian and her family, it's a harsh reality. Once part of the Soviet elite, Violetta's life shatters when ethnic violence forces her family out of Azerbaijan. But their escape to Russia doesn't bring the relief they hoped for. Housing? A joke. Jobs? Scarce. Welcome? Non-existent. The struggle to survive is relentless, and every day feels like a battle for dignity, safety, and hope. Then comes an unexpected twist, a small, unassuming church. Violetta's skeptical, and Ivan wants nothing to do with faith. But as she watches her mother find peace despite their struggles, something shifts. Could faith really offer them something more? Could hope exist beyond borders, beyond loss, beyond fear? Between Borders is about redefining what it means to belong. The Petrosians' greatest battle is facing their own doubts, fears, and the question of where home truly lies. As everything crumbles, they realize that home is something greater, something that can carry them through even the darkest times. Number 8. The Unbreakable Boy. Life breaks everyone in some way, but sometimes, the strongest people are the ones who refuse to stay broken. Meet Austin, a 13-year-old with brittle bone disease. He's had more fractures than birthdays, but don't expect him to be a victim. With boundless joy, optimism, and curiosity, he sees the world through a lens of wonder, even when life knocks him down. Literally. His dad, Scott? He's in pieces, but for different reasons. Struggling with alcohol and self-doubt, he feels like he's failing at fatherhood, marriage, and life itself. While Austin embraces every day with excitement, Scott is drowning in frustration and regret. But when Austin faces one break too many, something shifts. Scott starts to see that maybe his son isn't the one who needs saving. Maybe Austin is teaching him how to live. The Unbreakable Boy is about hearts that heal. It reminds us that true strength isn't found in being unbreakable, but in rising, time and time again, with faith, love, and resilience. Because sometimes the ones we think need help the most are the ones who end up saving us. Number 7. Homestead. Picture this. The world just went to hell in a handbasket. A nuclear bomb hits, blackouts start creeping across the country, and suddenly, the things we took for granted, like Instagram, electricity, and, being able to find your car keys, are no longer available. Welcome to the apocalypse, folks. But for Ian Ross, a wealthy survivalist living in the Rockies, the real challenge is what happens when the world outside your gate starts coming for you. Ian's prepared. He's got food, generators, guns. Basically, if the world ends, he's ready to sit back with a snack and watch it burn. But when the chaos outside his gate starts ramping up, he realizes it's not just about survival, but deciding who gets to survive. Can Ian stick to his plan of protecting his own, or does faith demand a bigger, more inclusive response? Homestead is about the tension between self-preservation and community. When the world's falling apart, will Ian's faith lead him to help others, or will he keep his gates locked tight? Through sacrifice, faith, and some difficult decisions, Ian learns that surviving the apocalypse might be easier than surviving the human heart. Number 6. Bonhoeffer, pastor, spy, assassin. In a world where the lines between right and wrong are blurred, Dietrich Bonhoeffer stood up to status quo even if it cost him everything. Growing up in Germany, Bonhoeffer was a theologian who believed in the power of faith. But when Hitler rose to power, his faith led him to a shocking conclusion. Sometimes, resisting evil means taking the hardest step. A man of deep conviction, Bonhoeffer joins the Confessing Church, a group of pastors who speak out against the Nazis. But he's not just talking, he's planning to act. As the Nazis tighten their grip on Germany, Bonhoeffer becomes a spy, working behind enemy lines to thwart Hitler's plans. But when his mission takes a deadly turn, Bonhoeffer faces the ultimate question: is it ever justifiable to kill in the name of justice? With courage, conviction, and sacrifice, Bonhoeffer shows us that sometimes standing for what's right requires a price no one wants to pay. Number 5. The Forge. Isaiah Wright thought he had life all figured out. At 19, he's coasting, playing video games, hanging out, and living off his mom's hard work. But here's the problem: mom's done with it. After a showdown about groceries, she gives him a month to figure things out and start taking responsibility. Cue the panic. Enter Joshua Moore, a no-nonsense fitness company president who sees potential in Isaiah, even when Isaiah's doing his best to brush him off. When Isaiah thinks he's just filling out an application for a job, Joshua has a different idea. "I'm not just hiring you, I'm mentoring you." What follows is less about spreadsheets and more about life lessons, grit, and a whole lot of tough love. Joshua's helping him become a man of honor, responsibility, and faith. The Forge is the story of a young man struggling to find purpose, but with the right mentor, he starts to realize that true growth is about getting your heart right and being someone others can depend on. From work ethic to personal integrity, Isaiah's journey shows us that maturity is about the choices we make and who's willing to help us along the way. Number 4. Unsung Hero. Ever wonder what happens when your dreams are bigger than your wallet and your best-laid plans turn into an epic disaster? Well, meet David Smallbone, a man with big hopes, big ambitions, and, oops, an even bigger mess. In the early 90s, David's running a Christian concert promotion empire, living the high life, and getting ready for $1 million Amy Grant tour that's sure to bring in a mountain of cash. But as we all know, the road to success is paved with the sound of screeching brakes. When the recession hits and his plans implode, David's family is left holding the bag. Now, with his pride in tatters and his future uncertain, David packs up his 6 kids and moves the family to Nashville, where the true test of his faith begins. But the real star of this show isn't David, it's his wife, Helen. She's the rock, the unsung hero who refuses to give up, even when everything falls apart. Together, they battle through debt, disappointment, and family struggles, learning that real success isn't measured by money, but by love, faith, and the strength to keep moving forward. Number 3. The best Christmas pageant ever. You know the Christmas story. The shepherds, the wise men, the manger, right? But what if, instead of the usual, you get a pageant where the worst kids in the history of the world decide to hijack the show? Sounds like a disaster, right? Well, buckle up because the Herdman kids are about to turn Christmas upside down, and it's anything but boring. These kids, they lie, they steal, they smoke cigars, and that's just the start. But when they stumble into the annual Christmas pageant, they take over the major roles: Mary, Joseph, and even the angel of the Lord. Everyone's freaking out, and the pageant's falling apart. But here's the twist. As the Herdmans start learning about the Christmas story, they start to change. And so does everyone around them. The more they learn, the more they understand what Christmas is really about: love, forgiveness, and the ultimate sacrifice. Movie The Best Christmas Pageant Ever reminds us that even the most unruly can be touched by the Christmas spirit. And by the end, you might just be as amazed as they are at the true meaning of Christmas. Number 2. Cabrini. What do you do when you're told your mission is impossible, but you're too stubborn, or maybe faithful, to give up? Well, if you're Mother Cabrini, you break all the rules, defy everyone, and turn a hopeless situation into something that would make even the most hardened cynic believe in miracles. Cabrini, a fiery Italian nun, is sent to America with one mission: to help the Italian immigrants in New York's 5 Points. Sounds simple enough, right? Wrong. The people? They're poor, starving, and living in squalor. The church? They're not interested in helping. Cabrini's got no money, no backup, and no chance. But guess what? She doesn't care. As she battles the archdiocese, politicians, and even her own health, Cabrini builds an empire of hope, one orphanage, school, and hospital at a time. She's told no 1,000 times, but her faith and fierce determination keep pushing her forward. From scandalous rejection to incredible triumph, Cabrini shows us that if you have enough faith and maybe a little audacity, you can change the world even if everyone else thinks you're nuts. And while doing it, Cabrini proves that nothing, not even the toughest setbacks, can stop a heart full of purpose. And our top pick, the #1 Christian movie, Ordinary Angels. You don't have to wear a cape to be a hero. Sometimes all it takes is showing up when life has knocked someone down, and in this case, Sharon Stevens is about to do just that, but with a twist. Sharon's life isn't exactly put together. In fact, you can usually find her drowning her sorrows at the bar, one shot at a time, avoiding the wreckage of her past. But when she crashes a memorial service and hears about little Michelle Schmidt's fight for survival, Sharon's heart does something unexpected. It actually starts to care. And before you know it, she's not just sending a card, but putting together a fundraiser, calling in favors, and making her mess of a life a little less about herself and more about helping a family in need. On the other side is Ed Schmidt, a dad with 2 little girls, facing the hardest challenge of his life. His youngest needs a liver transplant, and he's running out of time and options. Ordinary Angels is about what happens when a broken person decides to put others first. Sharon might not have it all together, but when she steps up, she teaches us all that even the messiest lives can still have room for love, redemption, and a little miracle. There you have it. That's our list. Did your favorite Christian movie make the cut, or is there one we missed? Let us know in the comments below.